Mr. Morera, thank you for waiting.
No, thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you all of you for being here. I know you have busy lives. I'm an engineer. I have a busy life also. I have 11 pages of testimony, but I'm only going to speak from 3 of them. Please, I would appreciate if you get a chance to read the other ones. I want to say I don't want to be here. I really, really, really don't want to be here. I have to be here because after 4.5 years of having my rights slowly but surely removed from me, I'm now not seeing my kids. I don't have an access plan to my kids. It was transferred to a third party, and that third party doesn't want to develop an access plan. So I have a judge, a GAL, and a third party that no one wants to give me an access plan. I have a pending motion for clarification. My problem is for some reason, I don't know why, the GAL in my case, Margaret Bozick, doesn't want all the facts of my case presented to the court. I don't know why. I've tried talking to her. I don't know why. The first year, my first attorney wouldn't do it, present it. My second attorney wouldn't do it. I tried getting another attorney for 6 months. No attorney would take my case. They literally, Lynn Eustache, she'll deny it now, but that's okay. Lynn Eustache of New Britain told me, no, if your problem is Bozick, no one in Hartford County is going to help you. It's kind of like the construction worker whose mayor, Leo Diana, won't stand up to his GAL. That's ridiculous. My other problems with GALs is how they can admit hearsay, unsubstantiated hearsay, constantly. And as a pro se, it's very difficult to fight that hearsay because, one, you have to know the rules of admitting evidence. You have to subpoena witnesses, and you have to pay for them. And as pro se's, we have to ask the judge to issue the subpoena. I have about a dozen subpoenas that were all denied. All denied. Just denied. Okay? Other problems I've had is after 2 years of my 2 attorneys not helping me out for whatever reason, or I mean not bringing attention to the court what I wanted to, I started filing motions on my own. And that caused all sorts of problems. Clerks some of the clerks in the court would not want to help me file my motion because they were scared of filing my motion. One tried to intimidate me from filing a motion, saying, "No, you got to get permission from your ex's lawyer." Where? I don't need permission from my ex's lawyer. It's changed a little bit. They're more helpful now, but for a period there, I was having difficulty. The psych eval done in my case by Dr. Humphrey, it is so full of holes that I'm sorry. It's either he's incompetent or he colluded with Attorney Bozick to keep the relevant facts of my case from the court finding out. Again, I don't know why. If I knew why, I could at least try to understand what's going on. Okay? A year and a half ago, they took custody away from me. I have no history of neglect or abuse. In fact, like you hear a lot of these stories of these parents, I was a stay-at-home one. Well, guess what? I was the one who worked from home. It seems to happen a lot to that person, that parent, the one that, the home person, that loses their rights with their kids after the divorce. I don't know why. To sum up, I can keep going on and on and on. There's a 2-page summary of what recommendations I feel should be instituted with respect to GALs.
And you gave us a lot more. You gave us other things to look at, too, right? Because we have a bigger packet from you, right?
I gave you only motions. I didn't give you any evidence because I didn't want some of it is like, I don't know. I don't want to go to court and be told you're distributing personal information. I only gave you motions that are public records.
All right. But we do have all this to review for you, and I thank you for that. And I thank you, and you were summing up, and I just...
That's fine.
Okay.
I really don't think we need a GAL. If there's something wrong with abuse or neglect, that's what DCF is for. Now, if there's a parent that's found unfit in court found unfit with real evidence and by established standards in writing, not vague standards, that's a different story. But I don't know. For some reason, a lot of the evidence that I've tried to present was not. And unlike that gentleman, Tim, who had a GAL, who was nice enough to say, okay, you have domestic violence issues, I want to help you. Mine didn't. Okay? I know I'm an idiot.
Okay.
I should have called the police, but I was worried that with the laws the way they were written, that they'd arrest both of us and my daughter being in a foster home,
All right.
being abused.
Thank you. Are there any questions, Ms. Veronal?
Yes. I actually attended one of your hearings when you were in Hartford because I was hearing about this and I was just curious because it was actually after one of the task force meetings, so I went over there. And I found it really interesting that the attorney for your ex and the GAL, your pro se, they were like all hanging out together in the hall talking. And I mentioned this before that I thought the GAL is to be an independent person. And I also found it really offensive that the family attorney for your wife kept looking over at us and laughing. And then, you know, it was really disgusting. And I know what you're feeling because I was there and I saw it from my own eyes. So I'm sorry that you're going through this. And that's one of the reasons why I think that there has to be changes.
Thank you. Any other questions? Mr. Weissmuller?
Regarding ad litem fees per hour?
Money wasn't a real big issue. I hear people that they're saying that they've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and they lost their kids. I've only paid about $30 for pre-judgment. Attorney Bozick is looking for some money for post-judgment, but I have her perjury on a sworn affidavit, so I have no intentions of paying her for an ex parte hearing, for 4 days of ex parte hearing in which she perjured herself. She made a mistake, and I realized it was a mistake on her part. She assumed that I had done something when in fact it was a third party who did it, but she put it in a sworn testimony, so that's perjury. That's a Class D felony in Connecticut. So $30,000 for the 3.5 years, the 2.5 years that it took for the divorce to be finalized, and some money which I've not looked at her bills because she hasn't mailed me one, for I don't know, about 12 days of court over the course of 5 months, post judgment.
12 days of court time that you haven't looked at that bill yet? What's the hourly rate?
$300.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.